Hey guys, this is Expendable with the OpenHarrier project, and this is a quick video to show you how I'm trying to replicate the this is the fuel panel, this interesting detail here, how the bevel of the window is sort of like a stair-step effect. And I think what they probably did is they machined a bunch of windows, each one being smaller than the previous one. And the way this window works is the bottom dimension is always the same, but the insides of the sides step in and the top steps in while the bottom stays flat. So you sort of have this this effect. Here's the stair-step effect. You can kind of see how this bottom here is flat, but the sides step in each time and the top steps in each time. And I wanted to show you how I'm making this. This is actually kind of like a cookie cutter. The idea here is we're going to cut this out of the fuel panel. I'm still working on this, but I can show you. Let me turn on the fuel panel here. There's the fuel panel. That's like the back side of it. Let me hide the stepped window here. So I have a plastic part that I've designed that's going to fit inside here. That part looks like this, and this is kind of a work in progress. This does not have the stair-step effect, but you can kind of see the windows come in. This isn't quite right. The depth of this coming in is not right, and these window openings are not right. It's all being worked on. I took a step back from this part, and I'm trying to, since I'm going to be 3D printing what essentially is, this part here. There's no reason why I couldn't attempt to do that stair-step effect, since it's going to be 3D printed anyway. So I'm going to try to replicate that. So let's hide this part here. Let's hide all of this and go back to this stair-stepping thing that I'm working on. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this, or how I'm building this up, because I'm actually using this is a parametrically driven cutout. If we look at the spreadsheet that I've added here, you can see I've got dimensions in here. Sorry, it's not the best color, a little hard to see here. Maybe I can make these bold. Okay, makes them slightly easier to see. The theme is a little bit messed up here. Let's see, let's do this. That makes it a little bit easier to see. Okay, so the window fillet, excuse me, should be probably 2 L's. Is fillet 2 L's or 1 L? I can't remember. If we go back to this, you can see there's a curve here, or a bevel. That's what that's referring to, and I don't remember if that dimension is radius or diameter, but I'm using 0.5. That's probably a diameter. And then I've got the width inset, so that is going to be, oh shoot, I'm glitching here. I'm having a little bit of a problem switching between, I don't know what's going on here. There's some rendering issue going on with FreeCAD when switching between spreadsheet and this. Sometimes it doesn't refresh the screen. So the step in from the sides, that's what that's referring to. So I've got that set to 0.2. The step in from the top, I've got that from here to here. That's also set to 0.2. And then the bottom inset, that's this here. I have that set to 0, so that you can see that that's not doing anything. And then I've got the step depth. That is how much each of these pads step in. So this level, that's I think I have that 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. So each step in, that's going to change. Now, just to prove that this is parametric, if I wanted this bottom bevel to actually go in, I'm going to put in 0.2 there. If I come back, you can see now it is no longer flat flush. It's uniformly stepped in, and I'm going to set that back to 0. And let's say I want this bevel to be increased, or this fillet. So I'm going to try 1 millimeter. Let's watch what happens. Come back here. And now you can see it's a much bigger curve. And maybe that's the correct curve. I'm actually not sure. And I can also apply a mathematical formula so that each of these radiuses gets smaller as it comes in. I have not done that with the formula, but that's something that I could consider. I want to see how it works. And maybe I need to step it in a little bit further. You know, I can adjust this, and like maybe I want the size to do 0.25 instead. Maybe the top should be 0.25. I'm not sure. And you can see that's what that is going to look like. Now, let me show you how I set each of these up. So I actually have to create a sketch for each step. So I'm on step 3. I need to create step 4. And I'm naming each of these levels as a step. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to switch back to part design, select the top surface, I'm going to hit sketch, and I just throw in a box here. I'm going to make it symmetrical on the x-axis. Press S, that'll make that symmetrical. Okay. I need to bring in some external geometry. I need to get that edge, that edge, and that edge. I don't need the edge over here. And I'm going to put in some dimensions here. So the width between here and here. So these external geometries, that's basically the surface that this sketch is attached to. So I'm going to click those 2 dots there, select those 2 dots by holding the control key, and then we're going to hit the L key for horizontal dimension. And instead of putting in or typing in a dimension here, we're going to click the formula button, and then I'm going to put 2 brackets. Going to click spreadsheet, and then I'm going to hit window, and you see all the things from the spreadsheet are now showing up here. What I want is the width inset. Hit OK. You can see that puts in 2.5. That pulled that right out of the spreadsheet. You can see it's orange because this dimension is orange because that means it's a calculated or formula derived value. So we're going to select this dot and this dot, or vertex and this vertex. Then I'm going to press I for vertical dimension. Do the kind of the same thing. Bracket, bracket, spreadsheet. This time I need top inset. Okay, and then I need to do the same thing here for the bottom. By the way, this, if you're wondering why that's called the top and this is called the bottom, this whole thing is kind of rotated upside down. Long story. That's just the way it is right now, and I didn't want to mess around with how other things are in the model at the moment. It has to do with the fact that this is the back side of the part. I started the part from the other side. So I think that's why it is. Okay, window bottom inset, that's going to give a value of 0. Now this is a calculated value, right? Oops, I did not do the correct thing. That was, let me delete that. I need a vertical dimension, which is I. Bottom inset. There we go. Okay, now you can see this guy is flapping in the wind here. We need to add in a fillet here, 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 and here. And you can, of course, see the dimension of this fillet. It doesn't match the dimension of those. So we need to use a formula for that. So I'm going to hit the dimension tool. It's radius. So I said diameter earlier. I was wrong. It's actually radius. So again, I have something in my spreadsheet for this. So spreadsheet. And we want the window fillet. Okay, and now that matches those. But now I have to select this and select the other 3 fillets and hit the equals button, and that'll make them all the same. And now we have a fully constrained sketch because it all just turned bright green. fully constrained, hit close. Now we need to add the pad to make this step up. So we hit the pad button, and that's what the default is. The default is 10 millimeters. We're going to hit that. We're going to add in our formula, spreadsheet, and here's where I select my window step depth. Okay, and then there. Now we can see that step is complete. Let's throw one more in here really fast. Oh, before I do that, actually that was my 5th step. I forgot to add the name on step 4. So I'm going to hit rename, that's F2. Step 5. Select the top surface, sketch, square, a rectangle rather, symmetry, bring in external geometry, this, and this edge. Okay, select this point, horizontal constraint, formula, spreadsheet, width inset, vertical constraint, formula, spreadsheet, top inset, vertical constraint again, spreadsheet, bottom inset, fillet, 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 fillet. Okay, select one of these fillets, put a dimension on it, formula, spreadsheet, window fillet. Okay, make these all the same. Now there's probably a macro that I could do to turn this whole thing, all the steps, into like a single calculated operation. I have not really learned how to do that yet, so this is probably good enough. And you might be wondering, why am I going to the trouble to do this? And the reason why is some of these windows, go ahead and let me do the pad real quick. Some of these windows, spreadsheet, are different dimensions. And I'll show you in a second why I'm doing this. Step depth. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to rename this F2 step 6. So if each of those steps is 0.2, I think I have it set to, yeah, 0.2. So 2 times 6 is 12. Sorry, why did I say 6? 0.2 times 6. Yeah, all right. So that's 12 millimeters. So that actually is 12 millimeters tall. And I just glitched out again. I need to minimize and bring this back, then hit there. Okay. So the reason I'm going to all this trouble is if you look at, you bring back my, let me bring out my window, or my panel. You can see that this box is a little thinner than this box, and then these 2 boxes are a little thinner than that too, but different from that. So there's 3 different sizes here, and then I have a size here. This one obviously is going to be a little bit shorter vertically than this one. So I can now, if I go and make a copy of this, and I'm just, I need to do a copy, not a link, because if I do a link, then they'll all change uniformly because it's just a reference. So I actually need to duplicate it. I'm just going to duplicate all that. Whoops, I did not mean to. Why did that appear? probably didn't need another spreadsheet. Yeah, I kind of messed that up. I didn't realize that the spreadsheet was part of that. That's interesting. Okay, so that's actually okay if you wanted to make, if you wanted to adjust those things. If you want to adjust the values for a different piece, now here, let me show you this is a different one. So I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to hit transform, move over here, and let's say I want to do this guy here. So let me just line him up. Okay, I know that this cookie cutter is way too wide. So if I go to the base on this one here, I go to the very first sketch. If I change this to 20, let's change this to 15. Just approximate. And then let's say that is 8.9. I don't know what the actual values are. I'm just guessing here. That's a little too short. Let's do 9.9. When I hit close, it'll recompute, and now you can see that cutout is more in line with that. So that's the whole point. That's the why I'm doing this. So I'm going to actually take these when I create all 5 of these pieces. I'm then going to join them together. I'll put like a big rectangle over them and make it a single combined body, and then I will cut. I'll take not this piece, hide that. I'm going to take this piece pre-cut. In fact, I can show you what I mean by that. So there's the surfaces that have not had the front cut. So I'll take this and I'll lower it down, and then I'll cut all 5 pieces in one operation, and that'll result in the stair-step effect. But I'm not ready to do that yet, and just kind of want to show you how I'm approaching this. That's all for this video. We'll catch you next time.